Shooter, you good? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your guy King David, trapmonsters.com. Today we're gonna be today's podcast. As you can see, it's about how do you know if you um, a music producer or not? You know what I'm saying? And on this podcast, man, we have Shooter, we have TB, we have Feral Kid, and today we're gonna also have a special guest as well. So, like I said, man, the topic we was talking about a little bit before we went live or whatnot was about how do you know if you a beat maker or a producer, and what makes you a producer. So far as the job title of a producer, what all that entails when it comes to producing a record, a hit record, I guess you could say, really. Um, but the process of being a producer and constructing this, and what's the difference between a beat maker and a producer. So, Fair Advice, I know we was talking just not too long ago, whatever. You can chime in on your perspective on that, man, because it was really, really good perspective.
You
So,
know, you know, uh, the
somebody needs to probably turn their phone or mute the YouTube. Mute the YouTube.
I have no idea who's singing on there, but it's a tough conversation to have for many
Mm-hmm.
reasons. Um, because to be honest with you, that word is so. But how do I put it? It's so much taken out of it because, in my opinion, there is no such thing as there's no difference between a beat maker and producer.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, we're all doing the same thing. And like I said earlier, uh, we as producers and as whether you want to but differentiate beat makers and producers, we're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You think about the big main guys. You got your Zaytovens, your TM88s, Southside Metros. They're doing the same thing. Guys like Playboi Shawty and Vice are doing. You know, they're not always there. They're just producing for certain people. I'm not, I don't know them personally. I don't know them by their personal life,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm pretty sure they're not always there at every turn when someone needs a beat. That's not their job.
Right.
Their job is to make the music. And I think the word producer has been so oversaturated with, or so connected with, oh, you need to be, you know, in the studio and you need to do this. Because, back in the day, that was what producers really did.
Right.
And I know I know you guys hate when I bring them up, but guys like Timbaland and Scott Storch, they were in the studio with the rappers. And
Yeah.
that was the norm.
Yeah.
That was their job. People like Metro and Zaytoven and all, they're dropping songs every 5 seconds, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're there to listen to them. So the word producer is more, or beat maker is more of a code word
Mm-hmm.
to producer. I don't think it means anything. I think you're either a producer or you're not. There's no such thing as a beat maker anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to say that. Oh yeah, uh, I'm a beat maker and you King are a producer. At the same time, we're doing the same thing. There's no difference.
Okay.
You just so happen to have more of a deeper knowledge of what you're going to do. You have more experience.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, me and you are still making music.
Okay.
It's kind of one of those things that you contemplate because it's like, am I right or am I wrong?
Right.
But in actuality, I think that there's no such thing as a beat maker anymore. I think you're just a producer now. So that's kind of how my thought process was with it. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably crazy.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. TB, what do you think about that? I want to hear your perspective on that.
I just think I just think the way music has changed with technology and stuff. Because back then, all you ever heard was producer.
Think about that.
And you got like once the internet got big and everything, people say I make beats. All of a sudden everybody just, I think they took the word and just called it a beat maker. I think it just called the way the technology and the way how we produce music now. Because years ago, that's all you never hear nobody say I'm a beat maker. You was a producer. And I just think the way the generation now is, they just make beats and they just rather be called beat makers. We make beats.
But and TB, I appreciate that thought process, and understand. I know me and you have never really had a conversation, so this is kind of the first time me even hearing your voice. So how you doing, man?
You're cool.
But I'm 20. Okay, just straight up, I'm 20 years old. I'm in that category of what you're talking about. But and understand how we thought about this. That word beat maker now is what a producer is to us. And we kind of ruined that word for everybody because we kind of just started saying, yo, if you have a laptop and you put two patterns together, that's a beat right there.
Yeah, that's a beat.
But you and I both know, and we kind of, especially you more than anybody, or more than me at least, that's not all that entails.
No.
You got to put some serious work into that,
Yeah, you got to work.
My question is to you, and if I'm allowed to,
no,
my question is to you, why do you think my generation just made that word into something magical?
You just have to take, if you just listen, like I said, I've been on YouTube a long time. And if you just, it's just the technology and terminology we use now is just different, but it's basically the same thing. You could be a producer, but if you don't put nothing into it, what are you? It's all about you applying yourself. Whether you making beats or you produce, it's all about applying yourself. But I just think it's just a word that just, I just think it's a word that's just, it's another word for producer, just a new terminology, and that's how they done. We took the internet, that's all you see. Make beats, make beats. If you a beat maker, you could be a producer. If you grind and take, if you in there working hard as a beat maker, you still producing. But I think it's just a new word for producer. I think it's just the technology. I think it's the internet done that. That's the internet thing. That's what I believe.
So I guess what the question, my question is, how many beats and what quality beats do you consider someone of my generation till you can consider them as a producer? My question is,
it's cats your age got good music. You still are considered, to me, a beat maker and a producer. We all doing the same thing. We all taking instruments and sounds and putting together.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you do after you finish the product. What makes you either a beat maker or a producer. A beat maker gonna sit on his stuff. A producer gonna push his.
Well, hold on, because everybody don't produce tracks the same either, though.
Yeah,
Some people
that's what I'm
produce
saying.
tracks with great detail to it, like
Yeah,
like dramatic intros and outros and bridges and build ups, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like
yeah,
that. Compared to a person who may just take a loop and then just loop it and just change the drum patterns.
yeah, yeah,
To me, my perspective is that's a beat maker when you just taking loops and you just kind of looping, you just change the drum pattern around, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. That's
yeah,
pretty much a
yeah.
beat maker in my eyes right there, because you're not going the extra mile to iron it out and do some creative things in there. Like, is there, what kind of creative parts is going to be a part of this music, or is it going to be the same redundant thing? Okay, so 8 bars in, I'm going to keep listening, and then it's going to be like, okay, I predicted this beat's going to still keep doing this all the way into the third and fourth. I mean, third verse. My bad. The third verse and into the outro is going to be the same repetitive melody and play all the way through. Nothing changes. That's a beat maker. Whoever make beats like that, to me, is a beat maker.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because you're not really producing that track, really. I mean, anybody could take an 8 bar or 4 bar or something and then just loop the hell out of it and then just change the drum patterns up.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of people do that.
And there's a
it's
lot of people
a lot
doing
of
that
them
shit now. You know what I'm
A
saying?
lot of
Yeah.
them doing you can hear it on the radio.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people doing that now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when there is a difference, when you talk about me, yeah, we all sit there and we take nothing and make it into something. But it's even who's willing to go the extra mile in their production is what
That's what I
what
was
it really
saying.
going to, what it
That's what
really
I'm
comes
saying.
down
Once
to.
you
Is,
make your music, that's what I'm saying. It's about what you do after you make your music.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
yeah,
See, a producer, he gonna keep pushing and grinding.
yeah.
To me, a beat maker just will make a beat and just sit on it.
Right. I feel I've been quiet. I've been quiet long enough. It's time. It's time. I'm just enjoying
What up,
this
shooter?
conversation. What's good? What's good? Like first off, like a beat maker is what? My kid can be a beat maker.
Yeah,
Anybody that can make a rhythm, a boom, a bap, a pound, and a bang can make beats.
true.
Period. A child can make beats. I mean, now it's skill levels of beat making, and then there's levels of production. Okay, like when you're a producer, you have invested in whether it's education, time and understanding and learning. But shit, you can accidentally make a dope ass beat and somebody buy it and oh shit, you're a beat maker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Where your knowledge at? What's your knowledge and skill set? That differentiates you between being a beat maker and a producer, as well as we would say what makes you a professional. We just had this conversation last week. I mean, application of talent is key. I mean, but how can that everybody on this planet, everybody has a rhythm, their own set rhythm. Individually, you are blessed with your own rhythm, whether it becomes a musical rhythm, a dancing rhythm, however you apply it, whether it's the rhythm. You have a natural cadence to yourself. So everybody has a rhythm, and you have a tone of rhythm. Therefore, you can apply it and make beats. It's all about a cadence that you have as self and apply it. However, like everybody can't produce. That's asinine to say everybody's a producer or beat makers are producers or producers are beat makers. No, the fuck they not.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
So shooter, I got a quick
Not at
question.
all.
So I got a quick question. What do you consider me? And that's really a question for all of you. What do you guys consider me?
No. See, bro. Like honestly, I don't know your body of work so far as of yet, but to be able to, you got guys that make beats and they can't arrange for shit, so they send that shit to somebody that can arrange for them. They're not a producer. They're a beat maker. They might be considered a programmer. Like seriously, a drum programmer. You got guys that only can make drum patterns. They can't arrange. So they send it. And I'm not knocking on people because these motherfuckers make a lot of money themselves. They're on. These people are established. Once they have a team, they're established because that's a strong suit for them. You can't knock it. So as far as me applying it to you, you have a completely different aura of music, bro. Like Pharaoh, you can't really be in the same systematic conversation as a producer or a beat maker because you create a whole different life of music if you pay
Yeah.
attention to what you do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You move a DJ crowd musically by itself.
Right.
You don't have to have somebody rap on some shit. You can apply them, whether it's EDM, trap, whatever, the titles of it. Bro, you got a whole different niche. So your conversation shouldn't even be entertained with a beat maker in itself, period.
Right.
Because of what you do and how you apply your music. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's say this now. And by the way, feel free to comment and chime in. I am Shooter, so hashtag Shooter if you want to. Beat maker is a person that's constructing this beat. No more, no less. It's simplest in its simplest form. And whether it's hot or not, hey, that's that. We can't say that, but a producer is a person that's instrumental in the creation of a song. A producer is somebody that's instrumental in the arranging in the life of that song or that record or that track. That plays a part of arranging, effects, and everything else. So you have a beat, then you have an arrangement. Do you have a track, and then you have an ensemble? It's all the same. That's like saying, how do you make a difference between an orchestra and then a bunch of motherfuckers playing instruments? What's the difference?
You know, and I'm glad you brought that up. I really am, because, you know, that is a great question. What is the difference between a normal band and an orchestra? Well, if you want the technical term, or you want the actual term, the difference between an orchestra and a band is the sections, is the amount of sections. That really is the only difference. Orchestra plays more, or in the genre of music that they play. You know, there's a lot of things that, you know, orchestras play, you know, the classical and the contemporary and your Beethovens, your Mozarts, your Bachs, you know, those are your orchestras. Your bands play what is hot. It is. That's the difference.
Uh-huh.
But again, bringing into this conversation, a beat maker, I agree with you, Shooter. I agree with you 100%. Is someone that arranges something. But excuse me. But the sad part is, at least I can say in my generation, because, you know, I go to schools, I go to HBCU, so, you know, I got everybody, you know, thinking that they producing, and a lot of them a lot of the songs that I listen to are everywhere. They're not properly done. But then they ask me, well, what do you mean it's not done? Well, you have to understand, first of all, you're not on a count.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these quote unquote producers can't count worth a goddamn. And I mean, they'll be hitting a 4/4 at first, then they'll go to an 8 measure, then they'll somehow get to a 5. And then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, this makes no sense. So
it's safe. So it's safe to say you agree and understand that there is a difference between a person that makes beats and a person that produces.
It's hard to, though, because that's okay. I believe anybody. I think we all start as beat makers.
We
but
all
I feel
do.
like
Facts. That's facts.
But I feel like we evolved though. So maybe I think what should be said is we all start off as beat makers, but we come out as producers if we stick with it. Because here's my question. Because here's my opinion. And this is why I tell everybody who always asks me to help them start producing, and always when people ask me to do it, because I do it at least 2 times a month. Someone always asks me, "Oh, teach me how to be a producer." I tell them you're going to quit at least 3 times. If you come back that 3rd time, you're stuck with it forever. And I firmly believe that, because I feel like this: the first time you quit is because you don't know what you're doing. The second time you quit is because you feel like you can't make anything hot. The 3rd time you quit is when you really decide whether you're just done with it or not. And in my opinion, that's where, right there, is whether that 3rd quit is whether you decide, do you want to be a producer, or do you want to stay a beat maker, or do you want to continue to be a producer? So the real question is, do we all start off as beat makers and become producers, or
Right.
do we,
Right.
or do we forever, or we either, or there's a side. I don't think there's a side. I think we start somewhere, but we end somewhere else.
Okay, I honestly, you start off. We all started off as beat makers. As you get, and I say that because your knowledge, you start off creating. You don't start off knowing what this compression does. You don't start off knowing the harmonics in this compressor. You don't start off knowing the balancing of an EQ. You don't start off knowing none of that shit. I was making hot beats and didn't know what the fuck I was doing. This was what, years ago. I just knew I understood what made sense to me by sound and by feel. I didn't know it by technicality. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like it takes the drive to want to understand that. Like I don't not creating like you got to be able to, in order, when I make beats, when I produce, I don't make a beat. Hey, I'm just gonna make this beat. I got a song or a hook that's already chiming in my head. I'm an artist first and foremost. So I got creations. So when I make something, I hear chime. I hear this. So if I'm creating, I already got a hook in mind. Therefore, I'm already writing this process. So therefore, any record or track or beat that you hear from me, there's a hook somewhere that belongs to it in my archives. You might not hear it on the website. The form of arranging, and therefore you are producing them because you are giving that direction to this track. Other than that, you just have a beat. If you don't have life, that's the livelihood in beat making and producing. The direction, setting a tone, making it feel what you are projecting out. You know what I'm saying? Your previews, your views and points.
So, you know, and I love the fact that you said that, because that right there is some hot shit right there. Because I made, you know, I don't know if you guys ever heard, you know, one of my beats that I made about a few months ago called "I'm Here," and that everybody loves that fucking beat because it projects, it gives them a vision of something different, and I think that's one of the reasons why I continue to make rap beats, because really of that song. Because a lot of people, I got positive reviews off that song. Now, with that being said. Shooter, I agree with you. There needs to be a hook. When you're making music, you need to already have a hook. You need to have a thought. If there is no thought, there is no song. I don't care what you produce. You can produce country music, you can produce pop music. If the producer does not have a hook already in there, the song will not make any sense. I agree with you 1,000%.
But see, that's what I was going back to saying earlier though, Furrow, was that it's about a producer. It's way more than just producing the track. It's also having guidance to how the song structuring is going to be, what's going to make people move and pull emotion from the people. You see what I'm saying? And that's a huge part as well as producing. And when you just beat making, you ain't caring about how people is going to react to this track or this record. You see what I'm saying? You just producing a beat, but a producer is going to think of the overall product of it. You see what I'm saying? How the finish is going to sound, the texture, how it's going to sound, how it's going to feel. You see what I'm saying? And that's what solidifies you as a producer. But if you just thinking about just pumping out beats, and not thinking about how a person's going to feel hearing this, and how they're going to react, or how you're going to attach, how you're going to be able to emotionally move them, then yeah, you just a beat maker, because you just creating without the intent of making a person feel a certain type of way off of your music. And that's what I see. That's the difference between a beat maker and a producer, to my perspective. You see what I'm saying?
And I agree with you. I do. And to be honest with you guys, you two, especially Shooter and King, both of y'all right now, like, y'all like my big brothers, and I'm gonna tell right now. Hey, y'all.
Nah, it's real. I understand what you're saying.
That's real. A little chair. No, the computer chair in your room.
Go ahead, bro.
Hello?
Is he there?
Are there?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up?
Oh, okay. But no, it's the real show.
I was asking my son to hand me something, y'all. So sorry about that.
You all good? But no, like, you know, it's the real shit though. Like, I listen to Shooter and the King. I listen to TV too. y'all, and I'm saying, you know, when I produce, especially now more than ever,
Mm-hmm.
I try to understand what I'm trying to project to the song.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with both of y'all. I
Mm-hmm.
do. This is where
Plug
I
that
do
in at
disagree.
that bottom.
Where I disagree is I think we all that beat maker and producer are one and the same. At least for now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, and I said this earlier to you, to King. I
Mm-hmm.
said it to you. I said when you think about it, Metro, Zaytoven, TM88, and Southside are all doing the same shit as people like Sunny Digital, Playboy Shawty, Pharaoh Vice, and others.
Okay.
And another thing I brought up is what do we consider ghost producers then?
Yeah.
Guys like Bangladesh and Arab music.
Yeah.
What do we
That's
consider
dope.
them?
That's dope. I like that.
Because we can't. Because if we're gonna sit there and say, okay, these niggas out here are producers,
Mm-hmm.
where do we put the ghost producers at? Because everybody knows they exist. It's not like
Yeah.
it's a big thought process. People like Bangladesh and Arab music been ghost producing for years. So where do we put them? Do we consider them as
Right.
producers?
I mean, yeah. I mean, actually, I would because they really that main producer's secret sauce. So if he's relying on them, then that means they must be definitely a producer. If they rely
But
on these ghost producers to be able to co-write, write, structure, arrange whatever they are doing, then they definitely have
but
some
okay,
in-depth sight about how music should be arranged in a way to
then
draw
we have to
reaction.
go back to the original. Then we need to go back to the original question. You just said if we got these producers who are out here claiming a lot, and I'm not talking about DJ Khaled and Diddy. They're gonna be at like 2 seconds. I'm gonna get after
Yeah,
them in like
yeah,
two
yeah. Because
seconds.
we should talk about
But
them.
but I'm talking about guys because okay, um, Metro has been ghost produced before multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Southside has ghost produced a lot of Metro stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There have been many conversations about that. So, or we get these co forever. Timberland came out the womb making beats. Guys like Pharrell, you know, Jay Dilla, you know, Scott Storch,
Yeah.
which they claim Scott Storch didn't even do all his shit either. But I'm just saying, all these guys out here that we really think they're out here doing their shit, a lot of them are getting arranged by other people. So again, back to what I was saying earlier. How can we make beat maker and producer two separate things when a lot of the time it is hard to even put them together? It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, what you gonna do? My man, what's his face? Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Oh, I can't think of his right name right now. He produced, oh goodness. I can't believe I'm forgetting this dude's name right now. I'm really irritated right now. I can't think of his name, but he produced this one joint. He produced this one joint for I want to say it was Nelly. It was the nigga who produced is hot here. He didn't. I was looking up. I'm lame as fuck. So
you talking about
don't look at shit.
Top
not Young Chop. But fuck it, I gotta look his name up. But anyway, they said when he made that song, he had shit ton of help. I mean, what do we? Why? I don't. I'm sorry. I love the fact that there are people out here that claim, that claim being producers, and I understand there are people out here that are beat makers. But to be honest with you, today's day and age, what's the difference? What's the difference? That's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
And King, I know none of y'all out here. I know all y'all make all y'all shit. I can tell because I can tell there are certain instruments and certain patterns, and I can figure out who is who. I can pick you and Shooter's beats out of a lineup.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing because you guys have things that's your signature.
Yeah.
That's your sound. And that's something that we should even discuss. When do you find out it's your own sound?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Here's a prime example.
That'll be
Pharrell.
dope.
Think about all of Pharrell's music. What's the one thing that Pharrell always does before every song? He has a 4 count every time. Think about it. Happy. Duh, 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 duh. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. There you go. 4 count. All right. All right. He has a 4 count. He's got a 4 count in just about every. But you could tell Pharrell beat is because in the beginning he has a 4 count.
Yeah.
I mean, this is real shit.
Yeah.
And I understand. And I'm learning it because I'm trying to figure out where do I stand in this conversation.
Right. I mean, it's. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I mean, but you said it's hard for me to be in this conversation because it's like
I mean,
I don't even. I'm in a different stratosphere,
When I say that, it's because you're a part of a rarity in a sense, and when I say that, it's because of you are a DJ. You see what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying like, oh no, Pharaoh, you don't belong in this at all. No, you are entitled. You are a producer. There's a difference though. Like all I was saying is like there's a difference. You give the life to the production. That would be like to say if I sent you a track out or stem and told you to arrange it, you have now produced my beat.
True.
Yes.
Facts. I mean, there's no way around that. That's what a
Facts,
producer.
yes.
That's what a producer does. That's what I'm saying. Like that what gives you that title. So that's to say you can't tell me that everybody that's dropping these cookups, I'm not taking no shots at nobody, but Cash Money AP, he big as shit out here. Like he huge. He is huge. You can't tell me this guy is producing people's albums though. Listen to his content.
Yeah.
He might supply a beat for
Yeah.
that, but he's not giving the guidance or the direction of that platform or that project. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't see him. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. And I send the most biggest, my bad to him. I ain't trying to knock nothing what he do. Look, I mean, this guy is. I mean, this shit. Look, all you gotta do is look at the numbers, man. This dude eating like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess the question is, should we stop being producers and start being beat makers? I mean, what the fuck?
I mean, bro,
I'm
look,
just
that's
saying.
where the bread is at.
That's what the bread. I mean, beat makers are eating because it's the simplest shit out. And what I learned right now at this time and point right now, simplicity is selling like a motherfucker. Don't nobody.
Yes.
I'm not knocking. Like I don't want to sound fucked up, but the era of now is we either peeled out, we zannied up, we off perks, we leaning or something, and motherfucker don't want to think.
Somebody turn down these speakers.
Yeah, I think I hear that. But so that's all I'm saying. So like, I had a guy tell me, man, this beat is so outrageous, man. It's so big, but it's 10 years from now. It's 5 years from now. You the future. I'm like, what? I'm the future. I'm the now in the future. So I laughed at it. But then I really got to thinking about what he was saying. And I'm like, damn, this beat is humongous. And right now, it's not that it's nothing new. It's just that it's what we have left from music and producing tracks went from you having to have a strategic build, a swell, a transition in your track to, man, just give me a banging ass 808 and hi-hats that's running repetitively. I'm going to drop the 808 out. I might drop the kick out. Boom. That's it. Or I might drop this one instrument out and that's it. That's not a producing. That's not even arranging. It's just, okay, we're going to loop this bitch out. We're going to mute the kick. We're going to mute the snare or whatever. That's not arranging.
It ain't.
Therefore, you're not producing. So these beat makers don't have to produce. All they got to do is slap some shit. And then
a couple decent melodies or chord progression behind some melodies, and that's it. Some drums.
And Gross Beats is saving these dudes.
Yeah,
life.
Real talk.
Man,
real talk.
That shit, these niggas getting, I ain't knocking nobody, like I said.
Yeah, nah,
hey, man, y'all hating on me, man. I use Gross Beat all the time, man. Y'all heard
No, I'm just, bro. Man, I just got to say with the facts that I seen, bro, if we take out Gross Beats and all that type of shit, man, like seriously, like the being able to manipulate and time constrain and all that shit, it's gonna be a big ass cricket noise out here in this field. Believe that, because everything that's selling is based off of some type of simplicity. I'm not knocking Gross Beats. Gross Beats dope as fuck. I would use Gross Beats. Imagine a person that knows how to produce using some shit like that. I mean, we just played when I just did a cook up. I didn't get to use Gross Beats. I had to use Rhythmizer. Damn, we should get paid. Trap Monsters get paid, y'all, for promoting Melda right there. So shout out to Melda Productions. We need an endorsement right there. But no, but serious though, like all BS aside, y'all. Like, let's think about it. Let's break this down and I don't want nobody feeling like, oh, these Trap Monster niggas throwing shade, because we're not. Because each and every last one of us creating something different, and we all use different techniques.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, it's like, do you have the talent or do you have the producer mindset?
Yes.
That's the biggest thing to ask yourself. What if you have the producer mindset? That means you are willing to sit there, arrange, give this track guidance and direction, or you want the quick bag, slap these drums, 808s, give me some type of eerie sound or whatever, because the trap shit is on fire right now. And there you go. Man, I've watched dudes turn down beats that was so big, only to come a year and a half later and be like, man, I can't get this beat out of my head for the longest, man. And now I understand.
I agree.
I'm like, dude, this beat old as fuck now.
Old as hell.
I made that shit years ago. And I'm like, they like, man, I
don't
know what happened. You feel me?
My mentor, that the man that the guy that taught me how to make music, he said the craziest shit of my whole life. And at the time, it irritated the fuck out of me. because I didn't understand until I got better at it. And he said, "You do not become a producer until you have a producer ear, and
Yep.
until you have and you don't never have a producer ear until a year after you start." And that shit used to irritate me because I used to be like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
The motherfucker don't like being told they ain't no producer. They can't, especially somebody that's trying to be a producer.
Yeah.
They don't like that. They can't stand
that shit stinks. But you know what? But you know what? I'm glad he said it to me. Because now, to this day, at the time, I didn't have a producer ear. Because, you know, you have a producer ear when you can hear everything. Every instrument, every tom, every click, everything.
Like I tell my kids in the house, you might have said that shit upstairs and under your pillow. My ear's so tuned. I heard that
on
shit.
everything. Yep. I tell my kids the same thing.
Don't play with me. My ears.
Yep.
My ears.
Because we trained our ears. We trained our ears to hear stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? As a producer, you train your ears.
Yeah. But you know what? And this is some real shit right here. Many people don't want to tell up and coming producers that exact same shit. They just automatically assume that shit just supposed to snap out. I agree. No, every time somebody comes to ask me, "Oh yeah, if you're gonna be a producer, it's gonna take you about a year."
I think there's a handful of internet producers that I think like they are talented as fuck. And then I hear these tracks and be like, man, I would have did what I could have done and what I would have done with this shit as far as somebody's phone is going crazy. That shit sound crazy.
But no, it's some real shit though. You know, Shooter, and it's crazy, but it's crazy because you know you get these niggas out here that be like, "Yo, you know, I'm a producer. I've been producing for 3 months, and I've been making hot shit." And I listen to that shit. I'm like, "Yeah, no, nigga, you need to try again."
Right.
And I say it.
And it don't be hate. And see, the thing is,
it's no shade.
It ain't hate or shade. No, it's facts. It's like I done ran across some guys that they done accidentally made some hot shit because they can't do it again. Recreate this. Now, if you can show me that you can recreate that, then my hat's off to you. Like, okay. But if you accidentally made something and it was just by the luck of the draw, okay, make it again. But I'm not gonna tell you, you boom. Like if your shit nice is nice, I don't give a fuck if you started yesterday and you was like, Shooter, check this out. I want you to hear it. Somebody back loud again. But I want you to check this out. And I listened to it and it's nice. That's good. But I already know if you up and start, I'm gonna have some shit to tell you. Yo, you need to start learning your EQ frequencies. You need to learn to roll your mud off. You need to learn to trim off your high. Too much piercings. You need to know how to balance your kick, your snare, and all that. All of that. But shit, I wasn't doing all that shit. I just knew sound. I knew I need this drum to stick here, but I didn't know the technicalities of it. So I'm never gonna sit there and say like I started off dope as fuck. Yeah, I started off creating nice, but I still sucked because I didn't have the understanding. So yeah, I might have had a hot beat, but I still sucked because my mix wasn't sitting right, or it wasn't even bearable for a standard. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. I was just blessed enough to run across. I ran across a guy, and I ain't even scared to put him out. There's an A&R from Def Jam. You know, they call him Polo. Jason Corbinell, shout out to him too, because he taught me some shit about the industry. You know, that's my first selection, the beat selection. Got selected by Def Jam, and I still don't know what the fuck went on with that situation, but that's neither here nor there. However, like Jason, I was told these beats is hard as fuck. Like he's like, man, these is hard as fuck, but your mix, as far as silence, you got to get some time and understanding to it.
Yeah.
Now the crazy part about it was it only reiterated some shit that I was told even further back then. I want to say maybe around like 2011 when I was sending tracks out from the joint. I was incarcerated, but I ended up having a workstation. I had a Juno G. That's my baby. That started everything. So I was getting money from beats, and I sent some music out. And my responses was brutal to a sense of somebody that's thinking, I'm in here going crazy. I'm turning up concerts in here. We doing a thing or whatever. And motherfucker sent me my shit. Well, sent the response, and I got the reply. It was like, yo, man, this shit sound horrible. This is horrible. Yeah. I'm like, what? This is horrible. I'm like, yeah, and I'm thinking like, yeah, right, motherfucker, like, my shit ain't never horrible. But in fact, it wasn't my content. It was my presentation, more so of the reception of how they're hearing this shit. So it took me to understand that. And then I ended up having to run into a guy, that ended up being my bro. Like we met in the joint, and he happened to went to school and graduated for audio engineer. And he taught me some shit, or pinpointed some shit, and was like, yo, you need to start focusing this. And once you understand that, and I sat there and I ain't create nothing for every bit of like 2-3 months. Honest truth, I might have played around with chords to keep my theory apart, but I sat there and had every piece of literature sent into me, and I sat there and read and studied to the best of my understanding, without it being a physical or a one-on-one view, or like some schooling or something like that. And then I applied that shit, and once I started applying that shit, my beats drastically became something they wanted. Motherfuckers was blowing my mom up every type of way to get in touch with me. How we get a hold of Shooter? We need to get these music from you. How we get a hold of that? And that was all because I sit in time and listen. I swallowed my pride. I took the brutalization of music big to tell me, yo, this shit's horrible. And I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't cry. I didn't quit. I didn't break down about it because music is me. One thing about it is if I couldn't make it producing, I damn sure could make it as a songwriter. That was my mindset, or as an artist. So it was like, okay, cool. And I applied that shit. And once I started applying that shit, the brutality, I think it was more so the brutalness of motherfucker telling me, yo, this is horrible. It ain't sugarcoated than anything.
I think that helps. To realize where you come from when you produce. Something I do. I listen to my old beats all the time. I listen to my early stuff, the stuff that I thought was gonna be hot as shit, and I listen to it today, and I sit there, I'm like, what the fuck was I pretending to think? And I think every producer needs to get to that realization. I think every producer needs that wake up call. I believe that. I truly believe that. The help is there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is from a serious question. From me to all of y'all. What do you guys think? About
Hold on. All right, so we in the stream and we talking about what solidifies you as a music producer. You know what I'm saying? And right along with that, I'm inviting another guest in, Bottom Up Beats, man. He's in on the chat now, and I guess Bottom Up, you can kind of say what's up or whatnot to everybody or whatnot. I can't hear you. You want to you? Okay.
What's up, everybody? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
what
good.
up? What up?
Yeah, what up? Nah, you know what I mean. This is a great topic, so I was looking into it, and the truth of the matter is between a music producer and a beat maker is the music producer is nothing without the beat maker, and the beat maker is nothing without the producer. And some of us who are beat makers, you know what I mean, are able to think further into the production of the song, and then you know what I mean, and that's and that's where you get your credits from, and that's what makes it. But I mean, it's like it's like peanut butter and jelly.
True. I mean, I feel that. That's dope. That's dope, fam. And I understand where you're coming from with that. But I mean, you don't necessarily have to be one or the other. Why? I mean, you gotta be able to make beats in order to produce. And
that's what I said.
I actually take that back. You can produce without even creating a beat.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's why it goes to that whole topic about the Puff Daddy and the DJ Khaled, because
but we speaking on instrumental production. Let's say it like that. We speaking on instrumental creation or creativity. So when you make a beat, you either a beat maker or you are producing a beat. You either making a beat or you producing a track, or you making a beat or you producing a beat. And
You got to produce the track though. You were producing the song.
Right.
Once the entity is produced, then you know what I mean. Then you know what I mean. Then you get that title of producer. You know what I'm saying? Once you create that product. Yeah.
I agree with.
In the
I agree with
meantime,
that.
you just on the beat making state. You in the beat making process. Like I made the beat. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm a beat maker.
Right.
But once you
Right.
get to the next step, yeah.
But right now,
Yeah.
and I feel that. I feel that. I feel that a lot. But again, bro, like where I'm trying, what I'm trying to stress is the fact, like, if you arrange it and giving this track its life, its formality, its its fulfillment, then you produce that track. If you just made a beat in its loop, then you just drop an 808, then you beat making.
True.
That's what we said. That's what we was. That's what the expression was on that, fam. Like, everything you said made complete sense. There is a difference in the way you highlight this in the entitlement. That's all we were saying. Like, because there's guys that's, I mean, I'm a producer, but it's beat makers that's living way better than me. Way better than me, because these niggas got it. They got a format, and everybody and they biting. If you biting it, they got the bait on the road and on the pole. You cast it out there.
It sounds like it's the same argument. What's the difference between a rapper and an MC? You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it sounds like. What we talking about right now with that point.
I love that analogy. I love that analogy because I'm an artist. So see there, but then again, it's about. Again, it's your level of understanding. Like, if you're third, like most MCs are they woke. Their third is very king. So if you know what I'm saying, if we're talking in rap or hip hop, then there's a difference also in your understanding of a culture or your progression of what you've done. You see what I'm saying? I don't believe I've ever started out as a MC. I've developed and became that as I grow, as a growth. And understanding.
And that's the same thing we saying with producers and beat makers.
Right. That's why.
Exact same thing.
I love that you have said that, because it got to let me introduce myself to the world. Yo, I'm shooter, man. Be looking out for the inevitable. It's coming.
Definitely.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
This man totally plugged the fuck out of it.
Yeah, shameless plug. All right. So Pharaoh, what was you was about to ask a question though?
My question was, when do we? And I asked this earlier, and I asked our guest over here, bottoms up. What do you think the amount of production do you have to put in or put out till you're considered a producer? Because I'll tell you, my generation, we believe we shell out a beat like at least 4 beats a week, nigga. We automatically producers.
Yeah. When you become a professional. When you make your beats, but you're doing it for a reason. You're not just making it for whoever wants to rap on it, but you're doing it for a professional. Then you're a producer in my eyes.
Okay, because I agree with you when I said the same thing. We all start as beat makers, we become producers, but I still don't believe that they need to be separated. I feel like
I don't think necessarily they need to be. I mean, but that's all about the titles. That's all about people who take things serious, and then around people who don't take it serious and don't think they deserve the same titles.
Right, but then see that goes into a whole situation. That's another topic within itself about how hungry are you as a producer. You see what I'm saying? How hungry are you? Like, are you just want to make beats for the fuck of it, or are you really doing it as a live or die situation? Are you playing around with it? Are you really looking at it as a business, as a means of making money and living off of this? Or are you just like, okay, this is just something entertaining right now, it's a little hobby. You know what I'm saying? So that right there really kind of shifts that mindset if you're gonna become a producer or a beat maker. Because you may be a beat maker for years in. Okay, so when did you graduate and go to the next level?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like Shooter was saying earlier, was that everybody kind of starts off as a beat maker, right? I mean that's facts. But at the same time, it's like, when did you graduate and go on to the next level? When did you start structuring and actually running it professionally in a way where you trying to make means off of it? You trying to make a living off of it, feed your family and your kids, and put something away, you know what I'm saying, for retirement or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When do you take that serious? and start
Yeah, when
looking
you
at
Here's a
believe it's
doing it that way.
possible and put that effort into it.
But then see,
here's a better question: when do you stop producing? Because I know motherfuckers
oh
out there are
yeah,
80 years old, fucking producing forever.
yeah. But see,
Let's
I don't think it's really a age cap on it. It's all about if you willing to adapt to the changes.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because reality, you can always be a dope fly ass producer if you able to have that ear and understand what's going on and understand and okay with music evolving because that's what it is. Music constantly changes. It definitely evolves. It's kind of like fashion, right? So here we are in
yeah,
2017. What the hell I look like walking around with bell bottoms and butterfly collars right now, right? I had to
yeah.
change to the time of day, what's going on. If I'm not willing to open my mind up to what's really going on and what's current and relevant right now, then I will be left behind right along with my production. I don't care how fly of a producer I am at that point in time. If I'm not willing to evolve my sound and what's going on with today's style of music, then yeah, it's gonna be I gotta add him in. Ah, hold on. Hit my side. I'm gonna add you in. But you know the thing is that if you're not willing to evolve yourself though, man, and get bigger at what you do, then yeah, you gonna have them problems. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna be left behind. You're not gonna really be successful. You ain't gonna make no money because that's the thing about music is that you gotta stay relevant. You gotta stay up to what's going on at this point in time. And if you're not willing to
What
stay,
happened, man?
I don't know, bro. I don't even know. But what I was saying is,
I got.
what I was saying was, I was going back to the topic of staying current and relevant as a producer.
Right.
Farrell had asked a good question about like when do a producer retires, and my answer was really that
Mm.
I don't believe a producer have to fucking retire not unless he's not willing to adapt to the change. If you're
Right.
unable to adapt to change, then you will be left behind, and you don't have to worry about being retired. It just the music
Right.
industry and the clients are no longer going to want what you have to offer as a producer.
Yeah.
That's
But
just what it
Yeah.
is.
okay,
You know what I'm saying?
and then okay, now I'm a totally flip it, totally crazy. Y'all gonna think of me crazy, but just let me finish. Maybe it might help. Uh, I'm a big music buff. I listen to all types of music.
Uh
One
huh.
of my favorite composers to date is
That
Hans
shit
Zimmer.
smells so good. Hans
Hans
Zimmer.
Zimmer Hans Zimmer. For those who don't know, made scores for movies like Pirates of the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
I
Interstellar,
think.
stuff of that nature. So I watched one of his master classes because I was bored one day, and he said the man is about 70, 80 years old. Man makes dope compositions every day. He said that you never stop making music. You never stop hearing music. You just stop putting it down. So I feel like that is where you stop becoming a producer and you stop putting it down on whatever you're using.
No.
Because producers are everywhere. Producers are composers. We could consider composers as the first producers. It's the same
Facts.
thing. You
Right. You
know,
conducted. I mean,
you,
you
you
conducted.
conducted.
Right.
You know, people like
Okay.
Mozart, they're considered producers. But I feel like you stop becoming one when you stop putting it down. So I guess the real question is, do you ever put it down or do you kind of lay low?
Mm. Well, okay. Well, I guess you would have to say the same thing like with Swiss Beats. You don't hear a lot from these older generational producers. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear too much from them no more. They production. You
Right.
don't hear Dr. Dre beats no more.
True facts.
But you got to ask yourself: is it because they fail? Not necessarily fail, but are they willing to accept the change and adapt to that, or are they just saying, "Hey, I'm cool with making this stuff I've been making."
But people
But
like the things that they've been making.
but guess what? You got youngsters like Lil Yachty, Lil Pump, Lil Perk, Smoke Perp, and all these cats out here. You know, a Boogie with a hoodie. They're not checking for no Dr. Dre beat, right? Just being real, they're not.
Well, I mean, I gotta chime in on that. It's like it's everybody. When you get a Dre beat, you of status. Dre ain't fucking with you unless you of status.
True,
period.
true.
So we would never know if Yachty
But,
or
I mean,
none of them.
what they
You
do
know what I mean?
anyway ain't on that type of level anyway.
All right, we when we talking somebody that's giving the world something. Yachty them just giving the world something to dance to and be young and vibrant and live with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We talking the difference between night and day. We
Right,
talking.
there is a difference.
We talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talking life music, and then we talking.
But when you look at,
hype up.
I say that because looking at the freshman's class of the Double XL, do any of them artists fit a personality or a swag where Dre would fuck with them on production?
See, that's the thing. No.
You see what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying that for, because that's majority of the music that's coming out now.
I agree with you.
Right, but
That's what I'm saying.
As far as see, that's the majority of music that's being projected now.
Right.
But the thing about it is that's so far from the truth, because it's albums that's dropping that's crazy. We got Dave East. He ain't Yachty and Uzi. Dave East is a monster. You got Starlito, Don Tripp. These guys are animals, and they not projecting. They're not projecting out that.
Do you hear them on a Dre beat?
Okay. The question
Shooter,
should
your
be,
mic is muted. Oh, okay.
the question should be, not if he can't, but does he want to? Does Dr. Dre really want to deal with this? Because to be honest with you, Dr. Dre really wasn't fucking with, them deep 808s. But everybody running to him. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know who I can see on the Dr. Dre beat? Kendrick.
J.
Cole.
Yeah. B.O.B.
B.O.B.
Yeah.
Okay. B.O.B. depends on what day it is.
Right.
He flip flops each day. But
Louis Fiasco. I mean.
Yeah,
it's
Lupe.
a few.
Okay.
Yeah, Lupe. Yeah. Lupe.
But guys like Davies, because if we're gonna talk about people now, minus J. Cole and Kendrick, who else is really rapping out here? Exactly. Your silence just told me everything I needed to know. Exactly. Dave East is dope. I like Davies. Davies has the free smoke freestyle. Killed every line. Davies will never be on a Dr. Dre beat.
No.
Davies won't even be on a boom bap, on a real old school boom bap beat, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just think about some people from New York. A$AP Rocky. He's not doing a boom bap beat.
No, yeah.
I mean, let's really think about it. Who can really rap on a Dr. Dre beat? Dr. Dre is not producing, not because he can't, but to be honest with you, I don't think Dr. Dre gives a fuck. Because Dr. Dre realizes his style is nothing. It's got nothing to do with today.
Right.
Action Bronson could even get on a Dr. Dre beat. Let's just go back to California. YG will never be on a Dr. Dre beat.
Right, but you gotta think about the main core audience, which is the fans. You think they really trying to hear that kind of a production right now when they've been hearing all the stuff they've been hearing? Gross beat and all this different stuff. They ain't trying to hear that.
To be honest,
they ain't trying to hear that shit.
I'm gonna speak as a DJ. I'm gonna cut the producer shit for a second and speak as a DJ. When people go to concerts and shit, they don't give a fuck what is on. It is what's projected. It is what's projected. If Kendrick got on a Dre beat, killed that shit, that will be in the club. Back to back,
the Drake song was hot. Why? Because he killed that shit. Kendrick killed the Control verse. It was so good they made it its own song. They even put Big Sean and Jay Electronica in it. They just literally just gave him that song, that part.
Dope. That's dope.
As a DJ, nobody cares. But the thing about it is, Dr. Dre is not going to produce for them. No. Because why? Why? Who's producing on the Dr. Dre beat? I mean, who's rapping on the Dr. Dre beat? Tell me now. Give me one rapper minus Kendrick and Cole that can rap on the Dr. Dre beat. Don't worry, I'll wait. I'll sit here all day. Because seriously, you can't name anybody. I know you can't. Whether it be underground or not, you're not rapping on a Dr. Dre beat.
Somebody turn their speakers down. Something. Man, that shit bleeding through.
You're not rapping on a Dr. Dre. You can't.
Right.
Dr. Dre had a cadence that was
There
like,
we go.
This is his shit.
Right.
Dr. Dre had the beats where you spoke real shit. Minus J. Cole and Kendrick, nobody in in America can rap on a Dr. Dre beat. And I say America because I don't know what's happening on the rest of the world.
Right.
But nobody can rap on a Dr. Dre beat. Nobody.
Did he fuck with this Joyner Lucas? Is his name Joyner Lucas or Anderson something? He got some.
Pac Anderson?
Yeah, them boys is going in on Jay shit. Them boys going in on.
But
on
they not really. But they not really. They're not getting it though. You feel me? Like
I catch what you're saying.
Like they're not really in there. Dre shit. Right. Let's go back to the NWA. Dre shit back at NWA. They said something on that shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel what you're saying.
What the fuck are we talking about? Davies is dope as fuck. Davies ain't hitting a Dre beat. Let's get away from Dre. Let's go to people like all right, we'll go to somebody like Timbaland. Who hitting a Timbaland beat?
Pop artists, Jay-Z's.
I think Shaza, whatever Shaza, I think she'll do good with Jay-Z. I mean, with Timbaland.
But Timbaland. But if you notice, when was the last time Timbaland made like a hard rap beat?
Ah, hell no. He was never really known for his rap beats anyway.
But
Tim.
Tim used to have him right now. Bro. Tim used to have him bitches.
If I say Tim was that, Tim is still the man, like for real.
Yeah.
Like, he is up.
But I like his production for more of the pop R&B type stuff. So far as the rap stuff,
but he's smart though. That's solidification right there. That's longevity.
But
that's forever and a day of check.
Tim, But let's
Tim
think about
get big
Tim.
checks.
But let's think about what Tim do. Tim been making really Tim ain't really changed. If you think about some of his old stuff and you put it into the new school, it's the same shit.
He was already futuristic with that
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There's the answer I was looking for. It's already here. Tim's shit will stand the test of time.
No. But he got some shit.
But what I'm saying is,
Didn't he do something for 2K?
Yeah.
I think he produced the whole all the 2K.
Yeah.
What year?
Yeah.
That was
I don't remember, but I remember it was
a few years back.
Last few years.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
14 or 13, I don't remember.
Bottom up, man. You sound like you from the city, man. You from New York, man.
Nah, but
you from Jersey?
I'm from Gary, but I was on the East Coast for a little while though, about a few years and shit. So I must have picked up a little of that accent.
Yeah, you sound like a Jersey boy.
Bitches love it though. Oh shit, cussing this shit. I don't even know if I could.
you sound like you from over there for sure.
But
my bad.
No, I was good for this shit, and this is money for you because you're the artist. Who is really getting on some of these older dudes? who is really gonna be able to get on some of these older dudes' beats?
Like right
Keep it
now?
100.
Like right now?
Yeah, right now.
Pop,
Right
pop
now.
artists.
I like to hear what TB gonna say about that.
I
Man. I
mean-
want to hear it. I want to hear him.
I-
What you think,
no.
TB?
Nope. I know the new cats. I don't think they'll be able to get on this stuff.
I'm saying. I agree with you. I'm saying I agree with you.
Man, like can't point nobody outside but newer. I mean, like far as that's hard. That's a scare. That's a scare situation in itself because it's like, damn. Oh, who? I still want to put me out there, but we talking about guys that's on the mainstream plateau, and that's there out there in the mainstream view, and there's really nobody. Like, I mean, of course we know T.I. He fuck with Dre. They fuck around heavy. T.I. new project is going to be produced by Dre. Tip all day long. Nas, if he chose to, I don't know how they feel about certain shit or whatnot.
We still talk about these older dudes, bro. I'm talking about today.
Mm.
Oh, it's over with. It's over. All pop
Exactly.
shit. You talking about Justin Timberlake, Shakira, and you talking about somebody like that.
Mine is Justin. Now wait. Before we even get to Justin Timberlake does not count. Only because Timbaland and Justin Timberlake been working together since Justin Timberlake was like 4. Okay, he doesn't count, but he don't count. Now, I'm not even necessarily saying pop artists either, because pop really hasn't changed too much. It just became to progressive house music, and that right there is a conversation that we can all have privately, because I'm from Chicago, so you know, house music is something I was born to know about. My mom gave me the history of house music when I was like 3. So that's a whole different genre. But what I'm talking about is we talking about these rap artists. Name a rap artist that can get on a Dre beat, Scott Storch. I mean, minus the older dudes like Eminem, 50, and then obviously
Eminem,
Kendrick and Jay.
like that,
They don't count. I'm talking about right now.
Nobody. You're not gonna find a rapper able to do it.
What about Don Tripp?
We ain't.
On a good day.
On a good day.
Yeah.
Don Tripp.
On a good day.
Gotta be on shit. Yeah. He gotta be on shit.
Yeah.
You gotta be on a good day to get one of their production.
Them boys got some political shit going on. If you listen to the shit, the knowledge they dropping. Starlino and Don Tripp are some animals, yo. Like real shit.
Yeah.
They really giving some jewels there, and I love how they doing it. They giving jewels with newer, with current sounding production as well. But they're not scared to go from soulful or something that's moving or something that pulls an emotional string. They're not scared of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. You're not gonna find any of these young bulls that's gonna do that like that. You know what I'm saying? They really, if it's not trappy, drippy, or circed out, it ain't happening. And that's just facts on that. Like especially like this music class of now. So, I mean, to each his own. I mean, we ain't knocking them. Hell, they might be like, yo, they to them, it's like them new. I'm like if I had to have a choice, like honest to God, truth choice, like I was picking old school producers from current producers. I'm having all old school producers because I'm gonna give them a current vibe anyways.
Yeah.
Therefore, I know my music gonna be timeless. It's gonna have nothing but the passion and emotion. This shit is gonna dry out. This trappy shit is gonna dry. I mean, I mean, hell, the trap culture in itself is dope. Mm-hmm. However, that's just it's gonna dry out. And then like music is already going back towards bars to where you gotta be talking about something. Y'all paying attention to it. It's drifting back to where it's okay. Oh shit, it's getting popping. The battles is getting big again. I mean, look at this shit. Like artists' lyricism is starting to be relevant, real strong again.
Yeah,
motherfuckers starting to get their head out the cloud and out the pill bottle and shit. Now they like, oh shit, I woke up. Yeah, this shit means something. You feel me? So it's coming. Mm-hmm. Like that trend and wave is coming, and I can't wait. I'm gonna act a fucking monkey.
So when do you? I asked this last week. Do you think this lo-fi rap shit is gonna be big?
Yeah,
I think so.
that's cloud. That's cloud music, right?
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, I think that's
Hell yeah,
lit.
that
That's
shit's gonna be
that's lit
huge.
stuff. Yeah,
King, do you make lo-fi
Yeah, that's
rap
gonna be
music at all?
huge.
yeah.
Do I listen to it at all?
Well, do any of y'all make it? Anybody?
I do.
I haven't because my bro has been telling me to make some of the shit.
Yeah,
My thing is like, okay, I mean, I understand the formalities of it and how to attack it, but I haven't yet. But I'm glad you said that. So now you're gonna make me do a cook up on some shit.
I might have.
So
I might. As a matter of fact, I might have to send you. I might have to send y'all some stuff because y'all gonna have to. We might have to do a little collab going on. That I really want to see what the.
we supposed to been did. We supposed to been did that shit anyway. Bro.
All right.
Man, everybody got this email address. Let's get this shit popping.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Like I'm up and running.
as soon as I get back to the crib, you better believe there will be a project file be sent your way.
I'm waiting. I'm gassed.
So,
Bro, Pharaoh don't even have no idea what this shit I got over here. Man, bro, I got all type of pop EDM shit. It's just like I got a different swag of that type of shit, but my shit dope. My shit dope as fuck. I'm different. You know, I'm not a full flip. Damn, somebody need to turn their phone down. That shit is chirping. But yeah, I'm not, bro. I'm not. I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself as an elitist in that bracket as you are, but I ain't no slouch. Put it like that.
I feel you.
I made that pop music. This was before I even started getting on a mainstream view, should I say? Because if nobody knows about you, then you're underground. Now that we being out here on the forefront and we getting followings and fans, it's like, okay, we becoming mainstream to the world. Not mainstream as into the industry, but as mainstream to the world. And so I haven't released that. But man, I got hella big beats. I got beats for Nicki Minaj's pop album. Not none of her rap shit. I mean, I got that type of heat. So I can't wait. I'm happy. It made me smile, bro. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We got off topic a little
Straight
bit
up.
though, but for the most part though, man, I mean, I guess before we close this up or whatever, I guess everybody can close out with their perspective of today's topic or whatever. What did they learn from it? What did they take from it? Was there any growth and learning from each other's opinions and perspectives, or where y'all sit at with today's topic? I guess TB, I guess you can start off, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I learned something out of it. I guess we just continue, just work hard, just continue to make good music. And, whether it's the beats or you produce, we all the same. We all out making music, trying to make it to that next level, man. But all in all, it was a good podcast, man. I got something out of it.
Dope. Very dope.
I guess I can ask the guests as well, bottom ups, man. I guess you can give us your spiel on what you took from today's.
Definitely good conversation, good topic. I'm glad that you guys invited me to come on today. You know what I'm saying? Look forward to your next one next week.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna stay tuned in.
Oh, definitely. All right. Go ahead, Pharrell. Your turn, bro.
I'm talk to y'all, especially you shooters. You always give me something to work with.
Thanks.
I'm glad. I'm just glad to be part of this because y'all teach me a lot. And I make new stuff every day. And I can't wait to start collaborating with all you guys. So obviously always good, great conversation. So I'm happy.
Good.
No.
Yeah, me too, definitely.
Well, Shooter, your turn, bro.
But for me, I learned that it's a lot of input from different sources here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I understand like one is catered to the other. There's no way about it. Like Bottom Up said, you know what I'm saying? He kind of was very potent and what he and how he explained it. I guess my explanations, I go in so uncut about certain topics because I'm passionate about it as like, but I also take light when it's being shared. So for me, I picked up that even those that don't have the ability to arrange, they still play their role.
Mm.
I mean, no matter what.
Mm.
There to me there will always be a difference, but there are together. It's night and day. It's hand in hand.
Mm.
You got to have a beat to arrange. You got to have a beat to produce,
Mm.
or you can be a producer and do it all in one. So I picked up a lot, and I got a lot of retrospect about the situation as well. Even in the conversations, I also love the audience chiming in. That was dope.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of their understanding
Shout out to the audience,
the
man.
the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
because that is a common argument amongst those that create. I mean, and it really is. I mean, because some people feel like they deserve to be considered as producers, and
Mm-hmm.
they lack that knowledge. But with the ghost producer concept, I can give them that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
willing to accept. Okay, yeah, you did apply something, because I get a lot of guys sessions and I got to mix, and then I have to get their stems and track out, and then I have to make their beats. I have to make their beat be able to be presentable. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, I just produced this shit. Like, yo, that's you made the beat, but I produced this shit. I
Mm-hmm.
gave it a whole new vibe, a new bounce. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely understand it, and I don't knock nobody that's not able to get a producer's mind yet. But if they ever do, man, y'all can reach out to any of us at trapmonsters.com, or you can get on here, chime in, send a message, comment on the cook up. We're gonna respond to y'all. If it's something you want to know, or something that we are able to show you, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know everything about music, because I don't. I'm still learning, and my knowledge, my database is huge now. However, I'm one to always sponge, and we always want to help. So with that, yo, we here. Everybody got good gems to give.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a different uh, uh, point of view of musically,
Mm-hmm.
but we all collectively make one big ensemble to help anybody that need help. So with that, man, I'm
Exactly.
shooting. We out.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's dope. I mean, for me, man, what I took from this whole conversation is, man, how us as producers, brothers, you know what I'm saying, in this journey and path of success and living our passion is one thing that I think all of us in this stream, and anyone who's going to be watching this stream once it's posted to YouTube or whatnot can understand, is that we all share that same passion. You know what I'm saying? And that's to live what we love to do. You know what I'm saying? And I think ultimately, regardless if you're a producer or a beat maker, you still have that same passion. You should never be robbed of that, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I mean, it's not to segregate or devalue either one or whatnot, because they both play a major part in this world. You know what I'm saying? Beat maker or producer. You know what I'm saying? So that's my perspective on that. But less than that, man, appreciate you guys checking out the stream. If y'all need any voice tags, drum kits, MIDI kits, we dropping stuff, man, monthly. Down there trying to get stuff weekly if we can, you know what I'm saying, on the site or whatnot. But mixing and mastering services as well, we'll be offering to anyone who's not too savvy with that. But shameless
Yo,
plug
King,
too.
before you go, I gotta
Shameless
tell
plug.
you, before you go, I gotta tell y'all, Pharaoh's drums are coming out soon, very soon.
All right.
I got some new, I got some
Dope.
full of loops, a few essential sounds that I always use, at least for the most part, and it's just gonna be dope. I'm ready to send. I can't wait for it to be finished, but it's gonna be a volume one, because I'm gonna probably make some more for it.
That's
So
dope.
just
That's
keep
dope.
waiting for that. It's gonna be coming.
So as
Definitely
you can
looking
see,
forward to that.
drum kits, presets, MIDI packs, loop packs, samples. Um, it's a lot more stuff coming in the future, man. Can't speak too hard on it, but best believe we working hard, man, to make sure you guys got the sauce and everything you guys need to enhance your production. So until next time, it's Trap Monsters, man. We out. Peace.
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 Peace.